And our first main topic today gets submitted to us by Eric the Red, who writes, "Hey, John and Rob. I saw Halloween Kills over the weekend, and while I didn't love it, I did have a pretty good time. Did you see that the opening weekend hit over $50 million? I think that's pretty impressive, especially considering the times that we're in right now. What do you think?" All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yes, now you guys know me. I'm a big fan of the 2018 Halloween. I love that movie. It's the first Halloween film I actually liked, and I loved it. So obviously I was pretty excited about being able to finally see the follow-up and see the new one. I am like you, Eric the Red. I did not love it. I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was bad, but I honestly didn't get a lot out of it. To me, it was a significant step down from the last one. But you're right. Opening weekend has come, and it's actually done pretty damn good business. This comes to us from the Hollywood Reporter, who writes, "David Gordon Green's Halloween Kills is doing killer business at the domestic box office, where it scared up the biggest horror opening of the pandemic era. It also boasts the top start for a movie launching simultaneously in theaters and on a streaming service at no extra cost." But we'll talk about that in just a second. Green's R-rated slasher pick earned $50.4 million from 3,705 theaters in North America. Halloween Kills also launched Friday on Universal's sister streaming service, Peacock. And that again comes to us from the Hollywood Reporter. All right, first things first. That's a good number. $50 million for this movie that had a budget of, I think, $7. I mean, in actuality, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Rob, I think I heard the production budget on this movie was like $26 million bucks.
Right.
You do an opening weekend of $50 million on a $26 million budget, dude, you pop bottles. So that's great. Now, a couple things to temper that with. The Hollywood Reporter's making a big deal out of the fact that look how much money it made, especially when you consider that it launched on streaming at the same time. Well, yes. But as we talked about, Rob, on this show a couple of weeks ago, you have to remember that it didn't launch on Disney Plus or HBO Max or a significant streamer. It launched on Peacock, which, number one, very few people have. And number two, as we explained a few weeks ago, it only launched on Peacock for people who had the higher paid tier of Peacock, which is even a smaller number of people. So launching Halloween Kills on Peacock at the same time was never really going to have that big of an impact because very few people actually have the higher paid tier. I do. I pay for Peacock because I actually really like Peacock, even though I still cringe a little bit whenever I say the name. But I have it, but very few people had, so it wasn't going to affect it too much on that end. The other thing to temper the excitement a little bit, though, Rob, is this. While $50 million opening for this, a movie on a $26 million budget, again, if I'm right about that, is great, it still represents a rather significant dip from the opening weekend of the first Jamie Lee Curtis new round of Halloween films in 2018. That opened to $76 million. Now, again, we're still in pandemic recovery mode. We can't expect it to make the same as much as the film in 2018 did. But I'm not going to lie. I was actually thinking it might make a little bit more than that. I was thinking it'd make in the mid 60s, but still a $50 million opening in this climate, making almost double the budget of the movie initially. I don't see any other way than to qualify this as a big win for the movie. Rob, you saw the box office results for Halloween Kills. Are you surprised? What does it mean? How significant is it? What do you think?
Well, my admiration for Jason Blum and Blumhouse continues to rise because they seem to be the only concern in Hollywood that can make modestly budgeted films open theatrically to big numbers. And you've got to give it up. I mean, their last Halloween movie was a huge hit. They planned this as a trilogy. 26 million is probably the most expensive Blumhouse movie at this point, and they still managed to open up with 50 million bucks. I mean, we were talking about whether or not No Time to Die would open to $50 million, and that movie cost 300 million. You know, and it's incredible. And I think, look, obviously moviegoers were happy about it, and Blumhouse is happy about it. I'm sure Universal's happy about it too. I think it's a big win all the way around for everybody. So I just give it up for that. Still modestly budgeted films can come out from studios and make money. I think there's something to be said for that.
And it's a template that I hope other studios can look at, because it's great that we have the big blockbusters. I mean, we always want those, but it's great that Blumhouse is out there showing, hey guys, we can make these small, modestly budgeted films and make legitimate money in the theaters. And I hope more people are able to do on that. Again, I didn't love this movie, but I'm super thrilled to see its success. Question is for you guys. What do you think about the opening weekend box office for Halloween Kills? I think it's pretty impressive, not nearly as good as the first one, but you got to understand we're in different circumstances right now. I think it's a big win. How do you guys see it? Jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.